That was, yes, there it is. So we can watch this again. Okay, so start over. Welcome to the Miracle Work Class 2. So I'm really happy that you're here and that you join us directly in the class with all of us, which is really great because it is a practical class on a Sunday. What else do you want? That's really great. So the practical part of this is going to be, say, the second part of the class, and I I will, yeah, invite some of us to come to the spotlight, so to speak, and we'll see how that works out. But first, I want to start with a bit of an introduction. And so for those who are maybe not familiar with this kind of classes, we will just start with, say, coming into the remembrance ourselves just by reading a little bit, sharing some ideas, and inviting you wholeheartedly to be completely present here and let your ideas go, to relax into this moment that is given to us to literally remember who we really are. And that is such a joyous thing to do. You know, that is so great that we can share that together, and that by having that purpose together, that we join as one. It is going to be supported. You will see, like it's amazing how the alignment takes place if we have a common purpose, and so great to celebrate that together today with you, and yeah, really great, super, really incredible. You know, it's like, oh my God, the possibilities that we have here to become happy, literally, to share the joy of healed and be healed, and to share that together in the recognition of our true source is amazing. So that's where we bring everything back to. And this is where I want to start today with reading one of the miracle prayers. And this one is, I think, the greatest, say, a really great one to remember your goal. So that's what I'm going to do. And so relax and let this affect you. This is our prayer today. Let me remember that my goal is God. All that is needful is to train our minds to overlook all little senseless aims and to remember that our goal is God. His memory is hidden in our minds, obscured but by our pointless little goals, which offer nothing and do not exist. Shall we continue to allow God's grace to shine in an awareness while the toys and trinkets of the world are sought instead? God is our only goal, our only love. We have no aim but to remember Him. Our goal, this is the prayer, our goal is but to follow in the way that leads to you. We have no goal but this. What could we want but to remember you? What could we seek but our identity? Let me remember that my goal is God. So this is lesson 258 from A Course in Miracles. Let me remember that my goal is God. So let's sit with that for a moment and breathe that in a little bit while we're actually deeper relaxing into this. So let me remember that my goal is God. That's great. Thank you. Thank you. So here we are um, in our Miracle Work 2 class. So we use some of the Ur text of A Course in Miracles, and I sent you a little PDF with two little sections of the Ur text, and that was nice to prepare or to read afterwards or to keep with you if you don't have the book. So it is really fundamental what's being presented here. See, all of this is in the recognition of the love that you are, of the extension of the love that you are. So that's why we come together today too. It is not to achieve anything. No, it's about a recognition. Like, why would you want the grace of God to shine in your unawareness while you can actually be aware of it and feel the light and love going through you by your acceptance of it? That is the offering continuously. See, and then it's also like, yeah, the Course in Miracles is a mind training book or device, however you want to call it. And this is not just to have the right thoughts or something, or to train your mind structure, or to train your mind something. It's like, no, it is a mind training, but still it's basically to allow your mind to remind itself, say more and more, that you need to get out of the way. So that's a bit of different learning. We're used to learning something so you can do more. And this is, no, take it easy. No, you don't have to do more. You have to actually do less and step back out of it. You have to stay alert, yes, but you don't have to do that much anymore. It's like you step out of it. Basically, you allow the light to step forward in the steps that you take. And so the things that are happening are not coming from your ideas, but from the extension of your true identity. And that makes this so different. And there's a lot of confusion also about the mind training of A Course in Miracles. Like this part that I just shared with you is essential in this, because it is, yes, we don't do this with for a very specific reason, not to become the best trained miracle worker that has his mind so much under control that now it actually can organize its thoughts or something like that. No, not at all. So this is just to remind yourself more and more and more that you need to get out of the way, that you can come into the place where you can receive what is given directly from source, and you can extend that directly into this world. That is the same as not following your ideas anymore about how your day should look, or how that you have to plan your day so that you at least have like a constructive day in your idea about yourself. No, why would you want to do that if there is already a plan that is working perfectly? So why don't you step back out of your own planning and allow your day to be ruled, say, by love, or to be, let it roll from that. So there are a couple of things happening with doing so. And one of them is that you literally are inspired to do the things that you do. Like, that's a given. You don't have to think about what am I supposed to do, So that's an essential one, because you've walked around in your lifetime quite a bit with thinking, like, what am I supposed to do? I have no idea what to do with myself. Well, you have an answer already. It's like, no, step back. It will be shown. You can come into the direct extension of who you are, and not having any worries about it either. So that is a real opportunity. And so that it helps you to stay out of fear, because what we're doing here is coming to the place actually where the guidance is like you learn to listen by allowing your mind to calm down and still its thoughts, so to speak. There's more space between your thoughts, and there's more relaxation going on, and also there's more of a letting go of your thoughts, so that there's more space in your mind for the light to come in. And that works hand in hand with being, say, free of fear. So you can't believe that because you still try your own ideas and you wonder why you're afraid or why you are concerned about certain aspects of your life. But basically, by stepping back, by coming back to the moment, you have a possibility to be inspired, to do every step of your day inspired. You know what is that but the enlightenment of your mind? Like enlightenment then is everything is allowed to come up, but in the extension, we're just following the direct inspiration of what is given us to do instead of our own ideas. And so it's being said in the Urtext, and I really love that line. It's like the voice, the still small voice, is as loud as your willingness to hear it. So it is like, yeah, whatever thought of whatever voice you want to listen to, that's up to you. You are listening to a voice all the time, and you decide which one it is. You know, this loud voice of the ego mind, so to speak, or the still small voice that is literally inspiring you to do the things that you can do, and seeing that that is free of fear. So the loud voice of ego mind, if you want, of your human mind, is always causing fear because it is in confusion. It doesn't know where it is, and it doesn't know what it is either. If you ask a human being, who are you, they will tell their names. So that is quite a confusion. You literally confuse yourself with what you think you are, being born into this world, having parents giving you a name, living a couple of years or living a lifetime, and dying at the end. You know, that was the scenario that was ready for you. But this is different. So this is like, no, if you want to know who you are, if you want to take time to come in deeply in touch with the soul that you are, with the light that is radiating in you, and the grace that is available to you, and also the voice that is speaking to you all through the day, then you come into a whole different, say, sphere altogether. So that was the other part of the mind training then, is you actually come by training your mind to step back out of your own ideas. You come into miracle mindedness. And that is like you actually enter into a real world where you come into opportunities that you otherwise would not have seen. They just simply wouldn't have happened. So that is quite obvious because if see it says in one of the miracle principles in the book, it's like if the miracle does not happen, something went wrong. Like your miracle mindedness is limited or disturbed, so to speak, and that is because you gave your attention and your focus on something that has nothing to do with your true identity. And so that's very useful to know, so that you can have a fresh remembrance of it. So here, miracle work too. What we do in this class is then also to allow ourselves to be undone. And that sounds pretty dramatic maybe, but it is like, no, see, something happens when you're under attention. Suddenly you're in the spotlight and you only have to be yourself. There's nothing asked of you to do or to teach or to, you know, to make clear to others or anything like that. No, this is as low profile as we can go. You only have to be yourself, and you can trust what bubbles up in you to share. If that is silence, if there is nothing, that is fine too. But if you feel like, oh, I need to share this because it's really in the way, it's so right in my face right now, I love to share that, then there's a possibility to do that. See, and with a human gathering, it would be totally different. This is literally, we are entering into a healing circle here. And then it is like, yeah, we recognize and I'll read that too later on, but we recognize together our oneness and actually give it back to our source as a celebration or a thank you from us for the healing that is taking place of us returning back home. So that's exactly what we do here. That's exactly what this healing is for. So you remember together your source and actually give thanks to it. And by sharing, by demonstrating that you're not, say that you're not going to say hold yourself because of fear of anything. No, you release that fear and you're open to stand here in your own vulnerability and share whatever comes up or whatever you feel like doing, like entering into stillness together or whatever is giving you, in that moment. So it's like, yeah, don't be afraid of that, because the ones that are here with you, the thing that we have in common here is that we want this healing for ourselves. We want to celebrate with you our homecoming in in the opportunity that's given here. So there's you, by you listening to this, by you being part of this in the class, in our healing moments together. So by that, we actually say support one another. You listen with your whole heart instead of a critical mind, or like, no, there's no judgment connected to this whatsoever. No, it's the other way around. We're actually really happy with anything that you bring to the table or to the altar, so to speak, for healing, because when you are healed, you're not healed alone. It helps everyone here to come to a deeper healing themselves. So and that is yeah, that's an amazing thing to happen. So in chapter 5 that I sent to you, it's like chapter 5 is healing and wholeness. It is quite basic in the teaching, but fundamental again. It's a fundamental teaching of, yeah, everything is an idea, and ideas get stronger by giving them away. It's like if I give this idea to you, that we recognize our oneness and are happy to come home together. If you allow that thought to be shared in you too, like if you start to share that too, it becomes stronger in all of us. By your acceptance, it becomes stronger. That is the beauty of it. So, and then it's this idea of, okay, the grace of God is here available for us. There's nothing holding us back anymore to allow that to come to us. Like, I'm open to receive the light of God in this moment. And that that is like a beneficent thought. That's amazing. That has a lot of, say, healing power if you want. It's like it helps you to come into the realization of that, seeing that that is an option for you, seeing that you can open yourself up for it. See, and so the other thing that happens during this class is then once you are in the spotlight, as I call it, why not? It is like a little stage. Once you're in the spotlight, it is also, you are supported by your brothers, by the ones that are here, but even beyond that too. Like, you have great help in this because you're actually opening up to align yourself with the purpose of the universe. And that is what you do then. So that is what you're going to experience too. You'll see when once we get into this, like a beautiful opportunity for yourself to become happy. So one of the main sentences, as you read in this little chapter, is to heal is to make happy. See, and then happiness is not something like that you laugh for a moment or whatever. No, it doesn't exclude it either, but it is more like, no, happiness is really recognizing your true nature. Like, why not allow that to come to you? It's like, yeah, this is for you. It is even though it seems impossible for you to accept it, you're going to be helped with that. Suddenly you shift into it for no reason whatsoever, except that you're completely entitled to it. Like your happiness is your function. It is your function to be happy. So that is great, and that's a beautiful opportunity here. And I'm really happy that you join with me in this, so that we can say, yeah, exemplify this and express this to each other. So however you want to do that today, if you feel like, well, I read this morning this and this, or when I woke up, I had this beautiful thought that I would love to share, you can do that too. So then take time to completely hand it over to everyone here, to give it a moment to, yeah, to feel actually what you're sharing. Because, and this is what you read in chapter 5 too, it's like there's no difference between what you think and what you are. You are what you think. So if you allow a beautiful, say, expression to come to you that you woke up with and was your inspiration for the day, receive that, because this is what you are. This is your direct expression of the totality of what you are. And that is something to be aware of, and also to feel, allow it to feel it deeply inside yourself. And whatever happens with you, then allow that to come up. If you feel like you have to release something, or cry, or laugh, or whatever it is, it really doesn't matter. Like this is, you can't go wrong here. With the ones that are here, you can't go wrong. It is totally trustworthy. There's no need for anything to be concerned about. So let me read a couple of sentences here from the chapter 5. It's all invitation. To heal is to make happy. This is the first paragraph of the introduction. To heal is to make happy. I've told you once to think how many opportunities you have to gladden yourself, and how many you have refused. This is exactly the same as telling you that you have refused to heal yourselves. The light that belongs to you is the light of joy. Radiance is not associated with sorrow. Depression is often contagious, but although it may affect those who come in contact with it, they do not yield to its influence wholeheartedly. Like you don't really like it. But joy, the opposite, calls forth an integrated willingness to share it, and thus promotes the mind's natural impulse to respond as one. See, that makes it different. Those who attempt to heal without being wholly joyous themselves call forth different kinds of responses at the same time, and thus deprive others of the joy of responding wholeheartedly. So to be wholehearted, you must be happy. So this is great. To heal or to make joyous is therefore the same as to integrate and make one. Okay, so here's another description of healing. This is section B. Healing is an act of thought by which two minds perceive their oneness and become glad. This gladness calls to every part of the sonship to rejoice with them and let God Himself go out into them and through them. Only the healed mind can experience revelation with lasting effect, because revelation is an experience of pure joy. That's not a concern right now, but it's like we're in this class, we're using this gladness by perceiving that you're one with one another. Say, this gladness calls to every part of the sonship to rejoice with them and let God Himself go out into them and through them. So that is great if we come together in this. That's why I said it too. It's like we come together in the sharing is you listening wholeheartedly, like being completely present in this, no matter what anyone is sharing. It really doesn't matter what the content is. It is about how are you say present yourself. That's what all this has to do with. And then you can add your joy to it. If you see, oh my God, there's a shift going on, or I just love my brother, no matter whatever he's sharing, it really doesn't matter. Like this little critical machine, I turned it off for a while, and just to have a different experience of myself and the ones that are with me. So are you almost ready to get started in expressing yourself?